Okay, what we're going to do really quickly is look at rhetorical appeals and the argument. So, just to get us started really quickly, what we're looking at specifically are ethos, pathos, and logos. So the question is, what are these? And the answer is that these come from Aristotle. Aristotle said that the goal of argumentative writing is to persuade your audience that your ideas are valid. So you need to convince your audience that what you're suggesting is a valid argument. And he broke down the means of persuasion into these three types of appeals: ethos, pathos, and logos. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. So ethos are the appeal to the author's credibility and trustworthiness. This is the way that the author speaks to the audience and conveys that they are reliable, so that the audience then trusts what the author is saying. So the ways to develop ethos when you're writing your own arguments: author's background, make sure you convey your connection to the background, appearing fair-minded and knowledgeable, making it seem as if you are considering both sides of the argument, that you are open-minded, specific language and vocabulary, correct grammar, professional format, these things that make you seem like a very credible and reliable source. These are ways to develop and to appeal to ethos. So the effect of appealing to the audience using ethos: when you are appealing to the audience with ethos, you're helping your reader to see you as a reliable, trustworthy, confident, and credible source, meaning that your audience is more likely going to rely on you for accurate information. So it is very important to do this. The next appeal is the pathos appeal, which is the appeal to the audience's emotions. This is one that we see very common in commercials and advertisements, although you do see some ethos as well. Pathos is one of the major ones because it is, as humans, we are so drawn to our emotional responses to things. So this one's very important. Ways to develop pathos: emotionally loaded language and emotional examples, testimonies, anecdotes, narratives that evoke an emotional response. These are things that really appeal to pathos. It deals with these emotional tones and moods, and it really attracts your audience because it connects with them on an emotional perspective. So the effect of appealing to the audience using pathos: it evokes this an emotional response from your audience. Persuasion through emotion, fear, sympathy, guilt, empathy, anger, etc. Just any kind of emotional response. I think the one that comes to mind most often is or are those commercials with Sarah McLachlan and the animals in the shelter who have been abused and neglected, and they're so sad, and it really appeals to you on this sympathetic and also guilty way. You have an emotional response to it, and because of that that jerking emotional response, this message that's trying to get out, is clearly being reached by the audience. Logos is the last appeal. The logos appeal is actually the appeal to logic and reasoning. A good way to remember this is L, logos, L for logic. So what do we mean by that? Well, ways to develop logos: it's theories, scientific facts, specific meanings and definitions, factual data, statistics, quotations, citations from authorities in the field. These are the hard facts. This is the data. This is where, most of the time this is conveyed in text format, whether it be written or spoken word, but it's this way of providing a background in the form of statistics to convey the accuracy and how relevant this information is to your audience. And when we use logos to appeal to the audience, we're evoking a rational response from the audience. So the audience reaction is more than likely to accept facts as truth. So if we've appealed to ethos and we've developed this relationship with the audience where they understand that we are credible and reliable, and then we present these facts with an appeal to logos, then the audience is more than likely to accept what we're saying is truth, and therefore to accept our claim as valid. So these are very important. Just to give you a couple of examples, These are two Michelob Ultra ads. The text, I know it's hard to read, but it says lose the carbs, not the taste. And then below that, the part that you definitely can't read is it says with fewer carbs, fewer calories, and the same great Michelob taste, Michelob Ultra is the ultimate reward for an active lifestyle. 2.6 grams of carbohydrates, 95 calories. So the way this is working to convey a message, the message is obviously that this beer is a lighter beer. So if you and there's these two people, both of which are working out. One is stretching, preparing to work out. The other is in the middle of a workout. And it talks about, it gives you these hard facts. It's only got 2.6 grams of carbs, 95 calories. So there's your appeal to logos. That's speaking from a logical, rational standpoint. And then the two people in here that are working out, that are stretching and preparing to work out and working out. This is an emotional response, or maybe not for you, but it definitely encourages me to think about working out or trying to get into better shape, and it makes me feel almost guilty, and I think that's what this ad is trying to do. Is it's trying to reach you on an emotional level. It's trying to get a response from the audience, which is pathos. So just a really quick example. Let's check out another one, see what you think. Advertisement number 2 is for Pediasure. This is, of course, is for children. It says, help your little pilot soar. At the bottom, it says, Pediasure is now an excellent source of DHA, omega-3, an important nutrient that helps support brain and eye development. It's a good source of 23 vitamins and minerals to help kids grow. So here, you've got an appeal to ethos, because the people that are writing this ad are speaking to you as if, we have children, we understand how important it is to give our children these, the things that are going to help them develop. And it's this, we're parents speaking to parents. So you've built this relationship of reliability, and so you've appealed to ethos. At the same time, you're sharing things like, this is what's good for your kids. It's a good source of DHA, omega-3. And I mean, how many parents really know what that is? We're not 100% sure, but we think it must be a good thing because it helps support brain and eye development. And as parents, we feel this emotional response because we want what's best for our children. We want to give our children these 23 vitamins and minerals that help our kids grow. And so we feel this responsibility, this emotional connection and responsibility to take care of our children, and therefore to believe this argument that Pediasure is presenting, which is Pediasure is beneficial to kids, and it's something that parents need to give to their kids. And then, of course, there is there's an appeal to logos, because there's actually the 23 vitamins is hard facts. It's telling me specifically what's in Pediasure and why it's important, and it's giving me this statistical data. This that this is what's in Pediasure. This is why it's a good thing for kids. So there is that logical connection as well. And the last advertisement is a Got Milk ad. These have been around for a long time. I'll read it to you. At the bottom it says, you don't have to be a hero to feel invincible. That's why I drink milk. The protein helps build muscle, and some studies suggest teens who choose it tend to be leaner. Cheers to that. So this is doing something similar to the first ad. It's showing a very thin girl. It's making the connection between drinking milk and being thin. There's this emotional response. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're trying to speak to teenagers or people, period, and suggest that if you drink milk, then there's a good chance that you will become leaner. And it speaks to people in this emotional way because it's something that people often want, to be thinner. So there's that attempt to appeal to the pathos. And then, of course, there's the logos, and the protein helps build muscle, and some studies suggest teens choose to drink milk tend to be leaner. So you've got this hard statistical, not statistical, but you've got this hard fact that protein in milk helps build these muscles. So you've got your appeal to logos too. And then, of course, your appeal to ethos, because you've got Hayden Panettiere here, and she's a hero, plays a hero on a TV show. And it seems like because she's played this superhero character or has the superhero persona, then she is a reliable source. And clearly she's a thin girl, she's drinking milk, then she must know what she's talking about. So this ad is doing all three of those things. So this is just a really quick look at rhetorical appeals in the argument. The next thing you're going to do for me is you're going to check out these 3 videos, 2 of which are commercials. One is a Colgate commercial, one is a commercial for a car, and then the last one is a political campaign, and an actual legit political campaign. It's a very unorthodox campaign. It is not satirical. It is an actual campaign that was filmed in Alabama, and it's very interesting. All 3 are interesting. I want you to check them out, and I want you to respond to them in the discussion forum to talk a little bit about how you respond and how you interpret each commercial, because every commercial, even the political campaign, everybody's making an argument. There is a clear claim being made. So think about how they're accomplishing this. Are they appealing to pathos, ethos, or logos, or a combination of the 3? I myself am very susceptible to advertisements, admittedly so. So maybe you are too, maybe not, but think about the way certain messages are communicated to you in the form of advertisements and how you respond to those, and how that either persuades you to purchase whatever product they're selling or push against that persuading technique. Okay?